People often look at English and think it belongs to someone else. They believe it is a gift you are either born with or denied forever. They look at fluent speakers and assume confidence came naturally to them, that words flowed easily from the beginning. But that belief is the first lie you must let go of. English is not talent. It is not magic. It is a skill, and every skill bows to effort, patience, and consistency. Think about everything you already know how to do. You were not born knowing how to walk, how to write, how to use a phone, or how to survive the challenges life placed in front of you. You learn step by step, mistake by mistake. English is no different. The problem is not your ability. The problem is the story you keep telling yourself, that you are not made for it, that others are better, that it's too late for you. The moment you change that story, learning begins. Many people wait to feel confident before they speak. But confidence is not the starting point. It is the reward for showing up when you feel unsure. Fluency grows through awkward sentences, mispronounced words, and uncomfortable pauses. Every mistake is proof that you are trying, and trying is the only doorway to growth. Silence, on the other hand, teaches nothing. You don't need expensive courses or perfect teachers to begin. You need courage to start small. One sentence today, one new word tomorrow, a short conversation, even if your voice shakes. Progress does not announce itself loudly. It works quietly in the background, shaping you while you stay consistent. Stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Everyone you admire once struggled with basic words, with fear, with doubt. The difference is they didn't quit when it felt uncomfortable. They allowed themselves to be learners, not performers. And that choice changed their future. English does not ask where you come from. It does not judge your accent or your past. It responds only to effort. The more you give, the more it gives back. Slowly, your understanding deepens. Your sentences become clearer. Your confidence begins to stand taller. And one day, you realize the language that once scared you has become a tool in your hands. Do not wait for perfection. Do not wait for approval. Begin with what you have, where you are, and trust the process. Because the moment you understand that English is a skill you can build, not a talent you lack, you take your first step toward a future that listens when you speak. Inside you, there are dreams that deserve more than silence. Ideas that deserve more than being kept inside your mind. Ambitions that were never meant to stay hidden in one place or one language. But dreams need a voice. And if that voice cannot travel, those dreams remain trapped, no matter how powerful they are. You may have talent, you may have intelligence, you may have vision, but if you cannot express it, the world may never know what you are capable of. This is where language matters, not as a symbol of status, but as a bridge. English becomes that bridge that carries your thoughts beyond borders, beyond limitations, beyond the small spaces you were told to stay within. Many people work hard their entire lives, yet their potential stays unseen, not because they lack ability, but because they lack a language that connects them to opportunities. The world is full of doors, but most of those doors respond to communication. When you can explain who you are, what you know, and what you want, the world starts listening. Your dreams were never meant to live quietly. They were meant to be shared, discussed, challenged, and expanded. English gives your dreams reach. It allows your ideas to sit at global tables, your skills to compete internationally, and your story to inspire people you may never meet. Some think English changes who you are. It doesn't. It simply amplifies you. It doesn't erase your identity, it carries it further. Your values, your experiences, your struggles, when spoken with clarity, become powerful. The world does not reward silence. It responds to those who speak with purpose. You don't need to sound perfect to be understood. You need courage to express yourself. Even broken English carries meaning. Even simple words can open serious opportunities. What matters is not elegance, but expression. not accent, but authenticity. Every time you choose to learn, practice, and speak, you are choosing to give your dreams a passport. You are choosing movement over stagnation, possibility over fear. Slowly, your world expands. New information becomes accessible. New people enter your life. New paths appear where there were none before. Do not underestimate the power of being understood. It can change careers. It can change confidence. It can change destiny. Your dreams are already big enough. Give them a language that allows them to reach the world. Most people believe English is difficult, but that is not the truth. English is not the wall standing in your way. Fear is fear of being laughed at, fear of sounding foolish, fear of making mistakes in front of others. That fear becomes so loud that it convinces you to stay silent, and silence slowly steals your confidence. Mistakes are not proof of failure. They are proof of effort. Yet many people would rather remain quiet than risk saying one wrong word. They wait to be perfect before they speak, not realizing that perfection never arrives first. It comes after courage. It comes after you allow yourself to be a learner. Think about how children learn to speak. They don't worry about grammar. They don't apologize for pronunciation. They speak, they stumble, they repeat, and slowly language becomes natural. Somewhere along the way, we were taught that mistakes are shameful, that one wrong sentence defines our intelligence. That belief is what keeps you stuck, not the language itself. Every fluent speaker you admire once made the same mistakes you are afraid of making today. They mispronounced words. They forgot sentences halfway through. They felt embarrassed. The only difference is they did not let fear decide their future. They spoke anyway. Fear grows when you avoid it. The more you hide, the stronger it becomes. But the moment you speak despite fear, it starts to shrink. One sentence breaks the silence. One conversation weakens the doubt. One mistake teaches you more than 100 silent thoughts ever could. You don't lose respect by trying. You lose growth by quitting. The world does not expect you to be perfect. It expects you to be brave. And bravery is not the absence of fear. It is choosing progress even when fear is present. Stop punishing yourself for not knowing what you are still earning. Stop measuring yourself against people who are further along the path. Your job is not to impress. Your job is to improve. And improvement demands mistakes. When you allow yourself to speak freely, something powerful happens. Your confidence begins to rise. Your thoughts become clearer. The language starts responding to you. What once felt impossible slowly becomes familiar. Do not let fear convince you that you are incapable. Fear is just a test, asking how badly you want to grow. Pass that test by speaking even imperfectly, because every mistake you make is a step forward, and silence is the only real failure. Confidence is powerful, but confidence without expression often stays hidden. You may believe in yourself quietly, you may know your worth deep inside, but the world can only respond to what it can see and hear. This is where English becomes more than a language. It becomes a bridge between who you are and what is possible for you. When you can express your thoughts clearly, confidence stops being just a feeling and starts becoming action. You begin to raise your hand. You begin to speak up. You begin to apply, to ask, to try. Opportunities don't appear because you are capable. They appear when your capability is visible. English gives your confidence a voice. So many doors remain closed, not because people are unqualified, but because they cannot communicate what they know. Education, careers, interviews, leadership roles, global platforms, all of them respond to communication. When you can explain your ideas, share your skills, and speak with clarity, people listen differently. They see you differently. Confidence grows when you realize you can handle conversations you once feared. The first time you speak and are understood, something shifts inside you. The second time, you feel stronger. Over time, your hesitation turns into self-belief. English doesn't create confidence from nothing. It reveals the confidence that was already there. Opportunities often come disguised as conversations. A question asked at the right time, an idea shared in the right room, a sentence spoken when silence would have been easier. English prepares you for those moments. It equips you to step forward instead of stepping back. You don't need to sound like someone else to succeed. You don't need to erase your accent or change who you are. What matters is clarity, not perfection. Authentic confidence is far more powerful than flawless grammar. People connect with honesty, with effort, with courage. As your language improves, your world expands. You understand more, you participate more, you belong in spaces you once thought were not meant for you, and with every opportunity you take, your confidence deepens further. It becomes a cycle. Confidence leads to opportunity. Opportunity builds confidence. Never underestimate how far one clear sentence can take you. One conversation can change a career. One moment of courage can open a door you didn't even know existed. When you learn English, you are not just learning words. You are learning how to turn belief into action and confidence into opportunity. People often give up on learning English not because it is too hard, but because they expect results too fast. They imagine fluency as a sudden moment, a dramatic transformation that happens overnight. When that moment doesn't come, they assume they are failing. But real change does not arrive loudly. It grows quietly through small daily practice that feels almost invisible at first. Every powerful future is built on ordinary days. A few minutes of listening, a short paragraph read aloud, one sentence spoken with effort. These small actions may not feel impressive, but they are building something strong beneath the surface. Consistency is far more important than intensity. What you do every day shapes who you become. You don't need hours of study or perfect conditions. You need commitment. Practice when you are tired. Practice when you are busy. Practice when motivation is low. Because discipline carries you forward when excitement fades. Even on days when you feel stuck, your brain is learning. Progress does not stop just because you cannot see it. Many people quit just before the breakthrough. They stop because they feel slow, not realizing that fluency often arrives quietly. One day you understand a sentence without translating. One day you respond naturally without panic. One day you realize you are no longer afraid. That is the reward of patience. Small daily practice also builds confidence. The more familiar the language becomes, the less intimidating it feels. What once required effort starts to feel normal. What once caused fear becomes routine. This is how growth works, not through dramatic leaps but steady steps. Do not wait for the perfect routine. Create a realistic one. 5 minutes today is better than 0. One conversation is better than silence. Progress respects effort, not excuses. And when you stay consistent, even imperfect practice creates results. Your future self is being shaped by what you do today. Every small habit is a vote for the person you are becoming. English will not change your life in one day, but it can change your direction if you stay committed. Trust the process. Honor the small steps, keep showing up. Because when you look back, you will realize that the future you dreamed of was built quietly, one day at a time. Life becomes difficult when choices are limited, when someone else decides for you where you can go, what you can apply for, and how far you are allowed to dream. Many people don't realize that language plays a quiet but powerful role in this. When you master English, you don't just learn words, you gain control over direction. You move from reacting to life to choosing your path. Without language, opportunities decide for you. With language, you decide for yourself. You can understand options instead of guessing. You can ask questions instead of accepting silence. You can say yes when you are ready and no when something does not align with your values. That is power, not loud power, but steady, confident control over your own future. English gives you access to information, to education, to global conversations. It allows you to learn directly without waiting for translation or permission. When you can understand the world, you can navigate it. And when you can navigate it, you are no longer dependent on others to explain your own life to you. Control does not mean having everything figured out. It means having the tools to explore. It means knowing that if one path closes, you can search for another. It means believing that your future is flexible, not fixed. English expands your options, and options create freedom. Many people feel stuck, not because they lack ambition, but because they lack access. They rely on others to speak for them, decide for them, and represent them. But when you can speak for yourself, everything shifts. You become visible. You become heard. You become responsible for your own direction. Mastering English also strengthens your inner voice. You stop doubting whether you belong in certain spaces. You stop shrinking in conversations. You stop underestimating your worth. When you can express your thoughts clearly, your self-respect grows naturally. You begin to trust yourself more. This is not about becoming someone else. It is about becoming more of who you already are. English does not replace your identity. It protects it by giving you the power to explain it, defend it, and share it with confidence. Control over your life does not come from waiting for the right moment. It comes from preparation, from choosing growth, even when it feels uncomfortable, from building skills that support your independence. Language is one of those skills. When you master English, you stop being pushed by circumstances and start pulling yourself toward possibility, and that is when your life stops drifting and starts moving with purpose.